Why are people so fascinated with you?
People always ask me that, and I don't know, I'm just living my life.
Though our younger viewers may know her better for her friendship with Kim Kardashian, that spotlight would shine on Paris Hilton before Kim Kardashian ever did whatever it is she does. That's right, Miss Paris Hilton was everywhere in the early 2000s, and beyond. But what the f*** did she do? Who the f*** was she? I mean, who the f*** is she? Is she just one of those people who's famous for being famous? Is she just a South Park character? Is she just a Sofia Coppola movie? Or is there more to this paparazzi princess? Let's find out what the f*** happened to Paris Hilton. But to truly understand what the f*** happened to Paris Hilton, we must begin at the beginning, and the beginning began when she was born on her birthday, 1981, New York City. Her family was very rich because, you know, Hilton hotels. Like her friend Kim Kardashian, Paris Hilton's fame bolstered by the infamy that comes from being a star of a widely popular sex tape. 2004's kind of cleverly titled One Night in Paris. As with many of these celebrity sex tapes, questions remain even decades later about whether the video was released intentionally, to capitalize on her growing fame, or was it an actual invasion of this poor woman's privacy. For her part, Paris Hilton has since denied consenting to the video's release.
I was in shock. I had no idea.
And has settled out of court for the damage to her image and reputation. And perhaps the grossest thing about this video is that it opens, rumor has it, with a title card that says, "In memory of 9/11/2001. We will never forget." This is a thing that actually happened. But Hilton was in the public eye long before One Night in Paris, born with multiple silver spoons in her mouth. Like I said, she is the daughter of multi-millionaires Richard and Kathy Hilton, and is the great-granddaughter of Hilton Hotels founder Conrad Hilton. Other than being a Kennedy, this right here is the closest it gets in America to being born into royalty. Because, we said f*** all that king and queen shit, and then we just made talentless celebrities our kings and queens. So, yay. Paris Hilton was a staple of the late 90s and early 2000s New York City celebrity social scene. If you were out clubbing and you were like a cool person, you would probably bump shoulders with Paris. And her celebrity status was legitimized by a Vanity Fair spread in the year 2000, alongside her sister Nikki. That's right, at first they were just called the Hilton Sisters, and then we, learned their names, and then forgot one of their names. Paris was also a prolific model around this time, operating under Donald Trump's modeling agency, T Management. It's like the greatest modeling agency ever. The early 2000s were Paris Hilton's busiest time as an actress. She had a very self-aware cameo in 2001's Zoolander, and she also appeared in the 2002 horror film 9 Lives, as well as Wonderland and Cat in the Hat. 2004 saw her feature in Raising Helen and The Hills with a Z. Then Paris Hilton had a small but extremely impactful role in the 2005 slasher House of Wax, for which she won a Razzie for Worst Supporting Actress. And she won a Teen Choice Award for Best Scream Scene of the Year. And she was also nominated for the MTV Movie Award for Best Scared as Shit Performance. But I honestly remember the whole marketing campaign around this movie, House of Wax, this Vincent Price remake. The whole campaign was centered around Paris Hilton and how her character dies. Like, I seriously remember seeing a poster or something that said, "Come see Paris Hilton get killed," or something like that. "Come see Paris Hilton die. Come see her get murdered." It was just like some f***ing crazy freak show, because the producers knew that's the only way motherfuckers were gonna watch a House of Wax remake. But in real life, she survived the making of the House of Wax and went on to co-write a New York Times bestseller, that's a book, titled Confessions of an Heiress, a tongue-in-cheek peek behind the pose. This was followed up by Paris Hilton writing another book, Your Heiress's Diary. Confess It All to Me. Miss Paris then had some famous flings with Leonardo DiCaprio and Oscar de la Hoya. She also showed that she had a thing for musicians, being linked to the Sum 41 singer, Derek Weebly, who for some reason spells Derek like this. And she was also romantically involved with Nick Carter of the Backstreet Boys and Good Charlotte guitarist Benji Madden. But Paris Hilton's fame absolutely skyrocketed with the success of the reality show The Simple Life, which ran for 5 seasons, from 2003 to 2007. It featured Paris and her friend Nicole Richie, a fellow party girl socialite and daughter of singer Lionel Richie. It had these two spoiled brats living with less privileged families, and the producers made them work blue-collar jobs. I think there was one time Paris Hilton saw a Walmart and she was like, "What's that? Is that where they sell walls?" Not sure if that actually happened, but I heard about it and I'm gonna believe it.
I don't know.
What is Walmart? Is like they sell wall stuff?
No.
What is it?
I think I remember seeing one episode of The Simple Life, and it was actually kind of funny. Paris and Nicole just walked into some bar and started making out with country boys, and I don't know. It was a culture clash experimentation that revealed a lot about the human condition in Bush-era America. But yeah, apparently people were intrigued enough by these Nepo babies. They liked seeing them live like us, the peasants. And the show actually went on to become one of the most popular reality shows of all time, peaking with over 13 million viewers. Even after the show moved to the E! Network for its later seasons, it doubled the network's primetime viewership. Paris was a pop culture force, and she was so popular and so powerful that I don't think the entertainment industry knew what to do with her, which is kind of a compliment. And of course, The Simple Life, it spawned multiple remakes and spin-offs and imitators and copycats, but none of them could do what Paris did. And Nicole, together as a team, teamwork, yay. I know this kind of sounds strange, so far removed, but we have to admit that The Simple Life was a widely successful and influential reality television show. We just have to admit it. We have to. The most direct spin-off was a show called Paris Hilton's My New BFF, which stands for Best Friend Forever, and that ran from 2008 to 2011, and featured contestants vying for Paris's undying affection by way of a series of contests. Then she transitioned right into a show called The World According to Paris, which followed her dramatic relationship with a nightclub owner. It was just riveting TV, I'm sure. And honestly, I actually totally forgot about this, but Paris Hilton, she did hard time. In between reality TV phases, she served a total of 22 days in prison in the summer of 2007 for violating terms of her probation, which stemmed from a 2006 DUI charge. Controversy stemmed from this proverbial slap on the wrist as well, as the Hilton's family's attempt to elicit $1 million for Paris's first post-incarceration interview. She was also arrested twice for drug charges in 2011. So it's accurate to say that Paris Hilton was a socialite, a model, a reality TV star, an actor, an author, and a criminal. But yeah, what the f*** happened to Paris Hilton? You certainly can't say she's content with being idle. This strong, real-life female character is a prolific businesswoman and artist. She hit rock bottom, and even though that rock bottom was at a mansion in the Hamptons, she still was able to rise above it and become a better person. She founded record label Eris Records in 2004 and released her debut album Paris in 2006. And since 2012, she has been a successful DJ, appearing at festivals around the world, making musical sounds in a disc jockey sort of manner. Her fragrance line has earned over $2.5 billion in revenue. That's billion with a B. And she has a multi-million-dollar clothing line, a skincare line, a cookingware line, a pet product line, and probably more lines all over the place. Paris was a major advocate for and influential figure in the world of NFTs. back when those briefly seemed like the next big thing. Most of her ventures fall under the umbrella of her multi-billion-dollar company, 1111 Media, which she founded as Paris Hilton Entertainment in 2006. And this business venture here has its hands in TV, podcast, digital, licensing, NFTs, music, impact, and more. Whatever those things are. And there was a cooking show called Cooking with Paris, and another reality series, Paris in Love, which followed the lead up to her wedding to some dude, whom she has 2 children with. She hosts the popular I Am Paris podcast, which follows the conversational interview format, that's oh so popular nowadays. And, apparently that, dumb blonde voice that Paris was, always doing, apparently that was, all just, a thing that she was, doing. It wasn't, actually real. She actually, has, a real voice that she actually, talks with.
This is my real voice. That was just a character I was playing. Just think that for a long time, people have misunderstood and underestimated me, but I can understand playing that character. Of course, they were going to assume otherwise, but I'm not a dumb blonde. I'm just very good at pretending to be one.
So yeah, if you haven't heard Paris speak in a couple decades, you owe it to yourself. She's not the ditzy rich girl that you have etched in your memory. She has since said that she actually crafted that personality, and especially the voice, for a lot of reasons. One was to cope with trauma. The second reason was to lean into the fame that it garnered. She knew that talking like that was why people were actually paying attention to her, which is kind of sad. And she did it to entertain herself and others. She was in on the joke. I wonder if she liked the South Park episode. Paris Hilton also announced that she has a new album set to release in 2024, which Paris Hilton herself claimed would, quote, save pop music, which oh so desperately needs saving, and why not Paris? Somebody named Paris would save Helen of Troy, so why can't Paris save Helen of Pop? She then would write another book titled Paris, the Memoir, and that too became a New York Times bestseller. And this one actually offers an honest look into many of the traumas that she experienced, including the release of that sex tape and a scary encounter with Harvey Weinstein. But what might be Paris Hilton's most enduring legacy is her advocacy, activism, and philanthropy. Her abuse under the thumb of various institutions aimed at reforming troubled teenagers entered the public consciousness after the release of the YouTube Originals documentary, This is Paris, which showed a horrifying dark side to Paris's life that I had no idea about. The worst of her experiences occurred at Provo Canyon School, where she suffered beatings at the hands of the staff and was involuntarily medicated. She also said that the staff watched her shower and forced her into solitary confinement naked. Despite the negative attention the school has received, they are still in operation. Paris Hilton and her allies have effectively gone over the school's head, advocating for the successful enactment of 7 U.S. state laws and 1 Northern Ireland law to help protect these children. But she did not stop there, helping author and campaigning in 2002 and 2003 for the Stop Institutional Child Abuse Act, which would, quote, provide greater oversight and data transparency for youth treatment programs, preventing institutional child abuse. Wow, I seriously had no idea Paris Hilton was doing all of that, and I kind of feel awful. The point of this video was to kind of poke fun at her, but I actually ended up learning that maybe I shouldn't judge a book by its cover, especially one that has written way more books than I have. And yeah, that is the lesson of the journey of Paris Hilton. You never know the trauma people have gone through, what they've overcome. And you should never look down at them just because they have this, way about them. She surprised us all, and I have a feeling she's just getting started. So nobody should give a fuck about what the fuck happened to Paris Hilton, because she's doing just fine.